You're over 65, you drink coffee every morning, yet you're still noticing your muscles weakening over time. Maybe your walk has gotten a bit slower, climbing stairs is more of a struggle, or your legs just don't feel as strong as they used to. Here's the surprising truth. It's not just age, and it's not simply a lack of protein. There's a simple compound you can add to your morning coffee that has been shown to help reverse muscle loss, reignite your strength, and help you fight sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and function. I'm not talking about expensive supplements or spending hours in the gym. I'm talking about a natural, science-backed compound that can turn your daily cup of coffee into a metabolic tool for your muscles. If you're over 65 and you want to stay strong, independent, and active without relying on medication, this might be the most important thing you hear today. So, why does this matter? Because sarcopenia doesn't just affect your appearance. It impacts your metabolism, your balance, your ability to burn fat, and even your risk of falls and developing insulin resistance. In fact, muscle is one of your most protective tissues as you age, and preserving it is fundamental not just for movement, but for longevity. Yet most people are missing the real reason their muscle is declining. Before we begin, could you do us a small favor? Give this video a like and subscribe to join our healthy community. Comment with your city below so we know where you're watching from. Alright, let's get started. Muscle synthesis from protein, the real story. Let me explain what's really happening inside your body. After age 60, your body becomes naturally less efficient at building muscle from protein. This is called anabolic resistance. You could be eating protein, even exercising, but your cells aren't getting the message. Muscle isn't rebuilding, you're breaking down faster than you're repairing. So, what do we do about it? You have to amplify that muscle-building signal. As it turns out, one specific nutrient can help you do just that, and you can easily add it to your morning coffee. In this video, I will show you what this nutrient is and why it's a game changer for older individuals, how it works inside your muscle cells to reverse sarcopenia, what the research shows about timing, absorption, and results, the best form and dosage, and how to combine it with coffee for maximum impact, why most older adults miss this step and end up weak, despite eating healthily. Finally, a complete protocol to rebuild your strength, starting with one simple daily habit. This is a practical, evidence-based strategy that can help you regain muscle, energy, and confidence naturally. Now, let's break down the science and I'll show you exactly what to add to your coffee tomorrow morning. Anabolic resistance, the true cause of muscle loss. Most people think muscle loss after 65 is just normal aging, but that's not the whole story. Yes, there's a natural decline in muscle mass with age, but the real reason older people lose strength so quickly isn't aging itself. It's something called anabolic resistance. Let me explain with a simple analogy. Think of your muscles as a house that needs daily repairs. When you're young, every time you eat protein, your body sends construction workers, amino acids, enzymes, hormones, to repair it, build new walls, and reinforce the structure. But after age 60, your foreman stops responding to the signal. The workers show up, but they're disorganized. The repair slows down, and over time, the house, your muscle tissue, begins to crumble faster than it's rebuilt. That's anabolic resistance. Your muscle cells become less sensitive to the signals from protein and exercise, and this resistance increases as you get older. When you consume protein, your body breaks it down into amino acids. These amino acids, especially one called leucine, activate a pathway called mTOR, or mammalian target of rapamycin. mTOR is your body's muscle-building switch. It tells your muscle cells, it's time to grow. But in older adults, the activation of mTOR becomes blunted. The same dose of protein that would build muscle at age 30 doesn't work as well at 70. So, even if you're eating enough protein, you may still be losing muscle. This is why sarcopenia isn't just a nutritional problem. It's a signaling problem. According to a 2023 review in Nutrients, older adults require 30 to 40% more leucine-rich protein per meal to get the same anabolic response as younger adults. But here's the good news. If we understand this physiology, we can naturally override it. You don't need steroids or to triple your protein overnight. You simply need to resensitize your muscle cells to the growth signal. And that's where today's coffee strategy comes in. We're going to introduce a nutrient that directly activates mTOR, bypasses some of the resistance, and helps your body use the protein you already have more efficiently. In fact, Clinical studies show that when older people take this specific amino acid in the right form, their muscle protein synthesis rate increases significantly, even without exercise. But before we get to that, let's quickly touch on something amazing. Your morning coffee isn't just a caffeine kick. Leucine, the spark for muscle growth, may actually be the ideal metabolic tool to deliver this muscle rebuilding signal. We'll talk about the nutrient in a moment. Leucine, the star of the show. Now let's move on to the star of this strategy, the nutrient you'll add to your coffee starting tomorrow. The nutrient we're talking about is leucine, a branched-chain amino acid, or BCAA, and one of the most critical triggers for muscle growth in the human body. Now, I know, it's just another amino acid. But leucine is the master switch that tells your body to start building muscle. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you're trying to light a fire. You can have all the kindling and logs in the world, that's your protein. But without a spark, it just sits there. Nothing happens. Leucine is the spark. When you consume enough leucine all at once, especially in the morning, it activates the mTOR pathway, which tells your muscle cells to start growing, repairing, and rebuilding. And the cool thing is, this can happen even without exercise. Now, of course, resistance training amplifies the effect, but studies have shown that supplemental leucine alone can stimulate muscle protein synthesis in older adults even when they are sedentary. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who added leucine to their meals saw a 16 to 30% increase in muscle protein synthesis compared to those who did not. That's a big deal, especially if your body has become resistant to standard dietary protein. But here's the trick. To activate mTOR, you need a threshold dose of leucine, typically 2.5 to 3 grams per serving taken all at once. That's the equivalent of eating about 30 to 40 grams of high-quality protein, like 5 eggs or a whole chicken breast, in one sitting. Most older adults don't eat that much protein for breakfast, and as a result, they miss the anabolic window. This is where your morning coffee comes in. Instead of trying to force yourself to eat a huge protein-rich meal, you can simply add 3 grams of powdered leucine to your black coffee. It dissolves easily, is tasteless, and starts working within 20 to 30 minutes. You get the muscle growth signal without the heavy meal. This is especially potent if you're intermittent fasting, because leucine does not cause a significant insulin spike and will not break your fast in the traditional sense. It keeps you in a fat-burning state while still supporting muscle preservation. To recap, leucine activates mTOR, the key signal for muscle building. Older adults need more to overcome anabolic resistance. Taking 3 grams in the morning with coffee delivers it quickly and efficiently. Best of all, you'll likely feel the difference in a matter of days. Better energy, increased stability, and even less soreness after basic activity. You might be wondering, why coffee? Why not just take leucine with water or with breakfast? This is what the research and your physiology show us. Your morning coffee, the ideal vehicle for leucine. Your first cup of coffee in the morning creates a unique metabolic environment, and if you harness that window wisely, you can supercharge how your body absorbs and uses nutrients, especially leucine. Let me break this down like a functional medicine whiteboard. When you wake up, your body is in a fasted state. Insulin is low, cortisol is naturally elevated, and that's not a bad thing. Cortisol helps you mobilize stored fat and become mentally alert. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Caffeine stimulates the sympathetic nervous system, increases blood flow, and temporarily boosts metabolism. This means faster nutrient absorption and better signaling through the mTOR pathway if the right amino acids are present. So, when you combine leucine with black coffee, you get faster absorption through the gut, better delivery to muscle cells, activation at a time when your body is highly receptive. This combination creates a perfect metabolic spark, like adding kindling to a fire just as the first flames are catching. But there's another reason this works so well. Coffee, especially black coffee, contains no competing amino acids or glucose that can blunt the leucine signal. When you take leucine with a high-carb breakfast like oatmeal or fruit smoothies, insulin spikes, mTOR gets a mixed signal, and the muscle-building message is distorted. With black coffee plus leucine, it's a clear, undistracted message. Build muscle. In fact, a 2022 study in Frontiers in Physiology showed that taking leucine in a low-insulin state, like morning fasting, resulted in significantly higher mTOR activation and muscle protein synthesis in older adults than the same dose taken later with a mixed meal. And here's one more bonus. Many older people already drink coffee out of habit, which means you're not adding a new routine, you're just upgrading an existing one. This makes you more likely to stick with it consistently, which is key to seeing real results. So, to make this work, brew your morning coffee as usual, preferably black or with unsweetened nut milk. Add 3 grams of pure powdered leucine, look for pharmaceutical grade. Stir it in well, it dissolves easily in hot liquids. Drink it within 30 minutes of waking up for best results. This single change can preserve and even rebuild lean muscle mass without adding stress or complexity to your morning. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, please comment with the number 2 below so I know you're with me. Optimal dosage and combination of leucine. Now that we've nailed down the how, the what, and the when, let's talk about something even more exciting. What else happens inside your body when you preserve muscle? And why might this coffee habit be the key to reversing insulin resistance and boosting metabolism after age 65? By now, you understand how adding leucine to your coffee can help rebuild muscle after 65. But here's what most people don't realize. Preserving muscle isn't just about strength. It's about metabolism, blood sugar, fat burning, hormones, and even your brain. Let me explain what really happens inside your body when you lose muscle, and why this simple coffee protocol has benefits far beyond the mirror. Muscle is your main metabolic engine. Even at rest, muscle tissue burns 3 times more energy than fat. So when you lose muscle, your basal metabolic rate drops, which means you burn fewer calories even if your diet doesn't change. This is one reason why many people gain fat more easily after 60, even if they're eating healthily. It's not a food problem, it's a muscle problem. Now, here's where things connect. Less muscle, less glucose uptake, more insulin resistance. Muscle is your body's primary storage sink for glucose. Every time you eat carbs, your body relies on muscle tissue to soak up and buffer the sugar. When that muscle mass shrinks, glucose has nowhere to go, so it stays in the blood, leading to chronically high insulin. Over time, this leads to stubborn belly fat, brain fog and fatigue, higher triglycerides, prediabetes or diabetes, and accelerated aging at the cellular level. But the opposite is also true. Rebuild muscle, and you'll restore insulin sensitivity. Even a 10% increase in lean muscle mass can dramatically improve blood sugar control and fat burning without changing your diet. And that's exactly what this leucine plus coffee habit helps you do. But it gets even better. Muscle preservation also supports hormonal balance, especially testosterone, DHEA, and growth hormone. Joint protection. Stronger muscles mean less strain on bones and ligaments. Cognitive function. Studies link higher muscle mass to better memory and a lower risk of dementia. Inflammation control. Muscle helps produce anti-inflammatory myokines. Immune health. Sarcopenia is now considered a risk factor for poor immunity in older adults. In other words, muscle isn't just tissue, it's a longevity organ. A 2021 study in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia and Muscle found that older people with higher muscle mass had a 40% lower risk of all-cause mortality over 5 years. So while one scoop of leucine in your coffee may seem small, it's actually sending a huge signal to your entire physiology. Stay strong, stay resilient, stay metabolically young. In the next section, we'll put everything together into a simple daily protocol so you know exactly what to do tomorrow morning for results. And if you're still watching, thank you. Please consider liking this video if it's bringing you clarity and value. It helps others like you find it and encourages me to keep sharing practical solutions. Daily protocol to fight sarcopenia and rebuild strength. Let's finish strong with the step-by-step protocol. Let's put everything together into a clear, simple routine. Something you can start tomorrow morning with minimum effort but maximum impact. Here is your morning leucine plus coffee protocol to fight sarcopenia and rebuild strength after 65. Step 1. Wake up. Hydrate first. Within 5 to 10 minutes of waking, drink a glass of water with a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. This rehydrates your body, supports digestion, and gently stimulates cortisol, your natural morning energy hormone. Step 2. Brew your coffee. Preferably black. Make your usual cup of black coffee. No added sugar, no heavy cream. If necessary, use unsweetened almond or coconut milk. Just avoid anything that would spike insulin or contain additives that interfere with absorption. Step 3. Add 3 grams of leucine powder. Measure 3 grams of pharmaceutical-grade leucine powder, about 3/4 of a teaspoon, into your coffee while it's hot. It dissolves best in heat and has no real taste. Tip: if you're sensitive to the taste or texture, blend the coffee briefly for better incorporation. Step 4. Drink it within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. Timing matters. The first hour of your day is when your body is primed to absorb nutrients, activate fat burning, and support muscle growth, especially when insulin is low. Opt to eat 30 to 60 minutes later. You can stay in a fasted state for a while longer to amplify fat burning, but when you do eat, make sure it's a protein-rich meal, eggs, grass-fed beef, or wild-caught fish with some healthy fats and low-starch vegetables. Step 5. Light movement. Optional but powerful. Even 5 to 10 minutes of light resistance, bodyweight squats, wall push-ups, resistance bands, after your coffee can amplify the mTOR signal and accelerate the muscle response. Think of it as telling your body, I said you're using this muscle, keep it strong. Consistency is key. Use this protocol at least 5 days a week for 2 to 4 weeks before evaluating results. Most people notice an improvement in leg strength, less soreness or fatigue after walking, better blood sugar stability, and a noticeable change in body tone. Bonus benefit: many report improved mental clarity and mood in a matter of days, likely due to better glucose management and mitochondrial energy in the brain. And again, this doesn't mean you have to do intense workouts or radically change your diet overnight. It's about sending the right signal to your body on a consistent, daily basis. Muscle doesn't disappear overnight, but it can be rebuilt faster than most people think if you create the right internal environment. And this is one of the easiest ways to start: 1 scoop of leucine in your coffee every morning. Let's recap what we've uncovered and why this simple change to your morning coffee can help you halt muscle loss, restore your strength, and feel more energetic after 65. After age 60, your muscles become resistant to growth signals, a condition called anabolic resistance. Eating protein alone often isn't enough to trigger muscle building because the mTOR pathway isn't fully activated. Leucine, a specific amino acid, acts as the spark that turns on that growth switch, but only if you consume enough all at once. Your morning coffee, especially in a fasted state, provides the perfect metabolic window to absorb and use leucine efficiently. By adding 3 grams of leucine to your coffee, you activate muscle growth, improve insulin sensitivity, and support metabolism, all without changing your entire routine. Now, why does this matter? Because muscle is your metabolic engine. It burns fat, it regulates blood sugar, it protects your bones, it keeps you moving with confidence and independence as you age. Losing muscle accelerates aging, but building it, even a little, adds life to your years. And you don't need a gym, heavy weights, or expensive protein shakes. You need the right signal at the right window with the right nutrient. That's what this Leucine Plus Coffee protocol gives you. Now, here's your challenge. Try this for the next 7 mornings. Wake up, hydrate, brew your black coffee, stir in 3 grams of leucine. Optionally, do a few minutes of light resistance movement, and just see how your body responds. Energy, strength, stability, even mood. Final thoughts: track how you feel. Observe if climbing stairs feels easier, if your legs feel more stable, if your appetite and energy are steady throughout the day. Then, imagine what that could mean after 30 days, 60 days. This isn't just about muscle, it's about reclaiming your metabolic youth, 1 cup at a time. If this video has brought you value, please do me a favor. Like the video, share your experiences and opinions with us in the comments below. It helps others find it. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend who needs to know that muscle loss isn't just aging, it's something we can address naturally. Thank you for supporting us. Remember, this content is for educational and informational purposes only. Under no circumstances should it be considered a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. We always recommend that before making changes to your daily routine, eating habits, or physical activities, you consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare professional. Your well-being is the most important thing.